Hey guys, we're here answering some of your most asked questions. And this question is, how did you get into haunting?
I was forced.
Whatever. You honestly... Okay, I've always loved Halloween. You little rascal.
No.
I've always loved Halloween.
Yeah? You have. Yeah, she's not lying. I saw like baby pictures of her like trying to scare her parents and stuff.
Whatever.
She was. She was.
They didn't even have film back then.
Well, they were like the ones you shake. Like the Polaroids.
Wow, this is off to a great start. I've always loved Halloween.
Yeah.
And I think the first year we were together, I even like cut bats. And like put them in the window and pumpkins, and you got home from work and you were like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Yeah. And then we moved and we were renting with people. We even threw Halloween parties. Like I'd invite my school friends over and have Halloween parties. And then finally, we got our own place. We were renting. But as we were driving in the neighborhood, we saw a house. They had like tiki torches. Yeah. And they had all kinds of like graveyard stuff and figures hanging from trees and all kinds of stuff. Do we have footage of that?
I don't know. I can look and see.
We have footage of that. We will definitely link it or put it in here somewhere. Yeah. But that was like kickoff. Yeah. Totally being inspired by that.
It was really, really neat. The ambiance of everything was cool. One thing I do remember that stuck out the most though was
fog. Sorry.
Well, yeah, there's always there was fog. Gina goes crazy with that. But there was a statue like right in the center of the walkway, and they had put a speaker in there, and the guy must have been watching from like the window of his house or something, and he had a microphone connected to it, and he would just sit there and talk to it. He was like, "Hey, you!" And I just was like, "What?" He's like, "What are you doing?" like it was really funny though.
Yeah, he had to work for the studio or something because he had like studio quality props. I mean, this was not like anything. There's no Spirit Halloween, Home Depot, Lowe's. They weren't doing stuff yet. I mean, you were still going to like Walmart, Walgreens, Kmart. And what that prop was, these were like all homemade or like I said, studio props that he had in his yard. It was crazy. But we went home. I think Halloween was like the next day or two. And Chris went to work and he made some tombstones for us.
Yeah, cut some. Yeah.
We did the old school thing where we got a bale of straw. We stuffed a dummy. We got a Walgreens mask. And we had so much fun. Yeah. It was like barely anything.
No, it was like a
fake
hand.
But it was like such an amazing high of seeing kids trick-or-treating at your house. Yeah. It was so cool. Yeah. So then next year we were like, oh yeah, we're going to do more. And then we started seeing stuff like the Halloween Forum, which was an old school like place where people could go and like you'd have different topics that people would like share their pictures and ideas and where they got their information from. There were websites that would post like before tutorials. They would post like a picture by picture.
Yeah. I think we basically really got into haunting really heavily towards the end of that era where
a lot of people had already been doing it for so long.
But it was like so awesome to see all those forums and stuff. And for us though at the time, one of the things that we noticed was like with YouTube, everybody was like posting their already made like props. Yeah. And but there wasn't a whole lot of tutorials or showing how-tos as far as like any of the haunt stuff. So it was really cool to come into the haunt community at that time because it was so little. It felt little.
It felt small.
You know?
Yeah. And we do have to give our friend Steve from Steve's Haunted Yard a shout out because he is the one who kind of, I don't want to say inspired us to get on and YouTube. Start making our own YouTube channel because we would watch him and how much fun he would have like pulling his props out and setting up his yard and just like tinkering in his stuff. And we were like, he's a cool guy and he's just having fun sharing stuff with people. And so we were like, okay. Yeah, we could do that too. And both of us have a theater background, so you know we want to be on camera. So anytime we can do that. So we just thought, like, how cool would it be to show people the steps of the process of stuff that we did? And we did have a little bit of studio background for working for some of the set shops and theater that we had done in college, because that's where we met. Yeah. And yeah, just get out there and start making videos.
Yeah, it was funny too because like once we did get that bug, I remember my boss like going, man, you know, he's like, he hated it when it got around Halloween time because he's like, where's Chris? And he knew that I was in the back corner, like, you know, painting or tinkering on something, and it was weird because I had breaks throughout the day. You know, you get like the 15-minute breaks and the lunch and all this kind of stuff. And every break and every lunch, I just was like in the back, like working on this stuff. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I almost couldn't concentrate. Like,
so the closer it was getting to Halloween because it was so much fun. But the first thing we did was a cemetery, because I think that's what everybody normally does. I mean, at least back in the day, you know, you got the gravestones and the skeletons and the candles and all of that. And we just started small, and we have to give our neighbors at the time huge props too, Kathy and Matt, because they were huge into Halloween and they would actually let us borrow some. And I remember the year they had 2 fog machines and they let us borrow one. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so awesome. So the day after Halloween, we went and bought our own fog machine. Yeah, 50% off. Yeah. And so, oh man, I was so excited to use it the next year. And I think we built a little community. Yeah. You know?
It was fun.
And people would start having like a Haunters hangout, and they'd be doing like Q&As with Haunters, like, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? And then Facebook was a thing, and you just started seeing more groups pop up. And then we had a SoCal Valley Haunter group that contacted us and was like, hey, so if you guys know Van Oaks Props Derek and then Lydia, Morning Rose Manor, they started a chapter here in Los Angeles. And they invited us, and we just started hanging out with Haunters. And it was like a huge thing, you know. We would go every month and we just hang out. We'd learn things, we'd teach people things, they would teach us things, and it's just a community of Haunters sharing stuff. So that's kind of where it came from. Oh, and I will have to add, Hollywood Haunter. Everyone always asks us, oh, Hollywood Haunter, is it because you live in Hollywood? Actually, we wanted to take our name Hollywood Haunter because we like Hollywood movie sets.
Yeah, like
and we wanted to create that. We really wanted to bring that quality, I guess, to our front yard. And so that's kind of where Hollywood Haunter came from.
It was Mishap Manor.
It was Mishap Manor in the beginning. It was a bunch of accidents. So that was the old school, you know, Halloween where, you know, you'd have the kicking legs under the lawnmower and people on the roof. And
that had accidents.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
There was a guy that we made some boarded up windows, and we had a guy and I zip tied his hand to the boarded up windows, and every time someone would come up to the door, I'd move his hand.
Oh,
it was pretty cheesy.
Scaring to death. Yeah. Spirit Halloween has nothing on that. Just kidding.
Yeah. It's funny because around that time, Gina, she really enjoys doing Halloween parties. And we really haven't had a chance to do like the inside and have a Halloween, like host a party like we did back then. And so that was another huge part of the Halloween for us in the beginning is having those I know I like it because it's food, but But Gina's always been into Halloween. I've seen, like I said, again, I've seen all the kid pictures and stuff. I grew up in Alaska, so, you know, when I went trick-or-treating, it was in full head-to-toe snow pants. You couldn't see my costume, just my painted face. And, or we trick-or-treated in the mall. Yeah. We had to walk around. I was like going to K Jewelers going trick-or-treat.
Did they give you anything good?
No, it was like little, I mean.
No diamonds?
No.
No gold watches?
No, it was all little pieces, the Hubba Bubba or whatever it was.
Hubba Bubba.
Bazooka bubble gums.
Oh, no. Got all your teeth?
Yeah. Some of them.
Well, thank you guys for watching another question answered video. We hope you guys enjoyed learning why we became home haunters from the beginning. And we would like to know, were you guys around when Haunt Forum was around, you know? Are you guys original members of Haunters Hangout? Are you guys just watching this because you want to hear 2 people ramble and talk?
Try to remember.
Yeah.
we're like, I'm sure we missed a half, so if there's anything we left out or pieces that don't make sense, be sure to ask us some questions.
Yeah, in our live Q&A, right? Someday. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time.